Yeah. So hello everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it is
So
visible.
it is 3.1 covering the various design styles. So let us give me a 1 minute summary of whatever we have discussed so far. Then we'll go on to the module number 3, unit number 3.1. So far we have discussed devices, and we have particularly discussed NMOS enhancement type transistor, MOS transistor. We have discussed briefly about the threshold voltage of the device with zero and non-zero substrate bias, and we have derived the ID linear and ID set, that is GCA and CLM for a N-channel MOSFET. Then we have also seen its terminal characteristics, that is transfer and output characteristics. We have also studied that MOSFET in saturation can act as an amplifier, and also it can act as a current source. And in the linear region, it can act as a electronically controlled resistor. Now, in a module number 2, we have started with CMOS inverter, which consists of a PMOS as a load and NMOS as a driver. And we have seen its noise margin levels. And today we have also solved one numerical based on it, doing calculating this noise margins. So estimating the noise margin is extremely crucial because our circuits are sensitive to noise when we are going for a high frequency operation. Okay, so determining the accurate noise margins is extremely important. Also, CMOS inverter has few advantages. That has very low, almost no static power dissipation. So that's another advantage of a CMOS inverter. And the biggest one is the rail-to-rail output voltage swing. In case of a CMOS inverter is that its output high voltage is VDD and its output low voltage is 0 volt. So it is considered to be one of the best inverters which we have seen so far. Okay, so with this knowledge, this is what we have covered so far. Let us directly jump into module number 3.3 and then unit number no, 3.1. Now, let me just slightly increase the font. Okay, yeah. So let us begin now. So this is your MOS circuit design styles. So basically in the unit number 3.1, we are going to study two parallel things. One is your static CMOS logic. Okay, and another is your dynamic CMOS logic. So these things which I have written over here will be more clear later. So right now I'm not reading it out. I can in fact we will see this shortly. So in the static CMOS logic, we are going to cover static pass transmission gate logic, ratioed logic, that is pseudo logic, and in case of your is my voice cracking, sir?
Yes, yes.
Hello,
हाँ, वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है सर आपका.
but it was not clear.
Some words, some words we are missing.
Okay, I'll try again. So we are going to start with unit number 3.1 covering various design styles. So in the MOS circuit design styles, they are of two types. Now it is okay, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. So for the static CMOS logic, we are going to cover static CMOS logic again, pass transistor logic, transmission gate logic, ratioed logic, that is also a pseudo NMOS logic, and complementary pass transistor. So these are the various design styles we are going to study under static CMOS logic. Under dynamic CMOS logic, we are going to study dynamic logic, domino logic, Nora logic, and zipper CMOS logic. So these are the four techniques which we are going to study under dynamic CMOS logic. So let us directly start with the static CMOS logic. I hope the voice is okay now. It's not cracking.
Yes, yes, yes. Now it is
Okay,
okay.
thank you. So the general structure of a static CMOS logic is as follows. So if you have your books, you can note it down. Please note it down in your books whenever we have a design or a implementation of a logic gate. Okay, this it's optional whether you want to note it down or no, but listen to it carefully. So generally in a static CMOS logic, we have a pull-up network, which we short form we call it PUN, pull-up network, which consists of only PMOS transistors. transistor. Okay, and this pull-up network is tied towards VDD. Bottom, you have a pull-down network, which is a short form called as PDN, and it consists of NMOS transistors. Okay, and this pull-down network is connected tied towards the ground. Okay, now both the inputs, all the inputs are given together to the pull-up network and the pull-down network. So let's say that we have n number of inputs, I1, I2 to IN. Okay, and the output is taken across the drain terminal of the pull-up network and the pull-down network consisting of NMOS and PMOS transistors. Okay, so output will be a function of the inputs. So that's why I've written here f of I1, I2, and IN. So this is the general structure of static CMOS inverter or static CMOS logic. So have we studied such type of a circuit before? Yes, you have studied that. Let me just show it to you. You know, we have studied CMOS inverter. What is this? This is your static CMOS logic only. So above you have a PMOS pull-up, which we call it as a PMOS pull-up transistor, and we have a NMOS pull-down transistor. So this is also fitting into the static CMOS logic very, very carefully. Here, indeed, we have only one input, A, and the output is A bar. So it's a simple NOT gate. Basically, if you consider in terms of a gate, it's a simple NOT gate. But if we want to draw it using static CMOS logic or transistor level implementation, then you have to do it this way. Okay. Now, very soon we are going to see this, but let me just discuss upon few things before we arrive it over here quickly. Okay. So the various signals, we call it logic 0, or we just call it 0 or ground or low, or we also call it 0 volts or VSS. These are the various names for logic 0. And for logic 1, we call it logic 1, power, high, 5 volts. It can be 5 volts, 3.3, and so on. And it's also called as VDD. So these are the various names for logic 1 and logic 1 signals. Now, MOSFETs can act as switches. We know that, correct? So N-channel MOSFET is also called as NFET. Interchangeably, whenever you hear the word NFET, it is nothing but NMOS. Okay. P-channel MOSFET is also called as PFET, or it is also called as PMOS. Complementary MOS is CMOS. Fine. This is the symbol for the NMOS and the PMOS. So basically, if you want to consider it as a switch, as a practical switch, you have a on-state resistance connected over here. Okay, so we can have these switches which can be ideally on or ideally off. Okay, and this switch is for both. I'm not doing it particularly for one, it is for both. Both NMOS and PMOS can act as a on or off switch. Okay, and ideally we drop this R on so that the analysis is very, very simple. Okay, so a switch will be off. Let us see now. NMOS as a switch will be off whenever VGS will be lesser than VTN. Okay, and the NMOS switch will be on whenever VGS is greater than VTN. We are not bothered about whether the NMOS is basically in the linear region or in the edge of saturation or what. It is just has to be on and or fully on. So basically it should be mostly in the saturation. It can be in the edge of saturation or beyond saturation region. Similarly, for a PMOS to be off, VGS has to be greater than mod of VTP, and for a PMOS to be on, VGS has to be lesser than VTOP. So basically what we mean to say is, over here, VA has to be very logic high. Okay, for this NMOS transistor to be on. And over here, the PMOS, the input has to be logic 0 for the PMOS transistor to be on. Fine. And I will talk about this logic translation a little later, right? Not right now. I will discuss this particularly when we are discussing past transistor logic. Now, let us go into some of the observations from this general structure static CMOS logic. So instead of reading these observations, I will just demonstrate it in terms of CMOS. So let me just show it to you. This is the inverter design using only switches. So how it is defined? So the output is defined as, output is defined when both A is equal to 0 and when A is equal to 1. So we have A is equal to 0, then Y will be 1, which is the output. And when A is 1, the Y will be 0. So let's say we are applying logic 0 switch. logic 0 switch over here, the switch will be open. It is controlled by control signal A. So you have 0 into A. So your Y can be written as 1 into A bar plus 0 into A. Okay, Y can be written as 1 into A bar plus 0 into A. The same expression, which can be written as Y is equal to A bar, can be written as 1 into A bar plus 0 into A. So basically here it is a closed switch. So whenever we have 1 over here, and here it is like control logic is inverted. So this is basically your A bar. Okay. So whenever we apply a 0 over here, then this switch is closed. So 1 into 0 bar will be 1. So that's how we write over here Y is equal to A bar. I hope that this logic is clear to you. This is inverter design using switches. Same we will apply to the CMOS inverter. So let me show it to you. So this is my CMOS inverter. Let me slightly reduce it. Yeah. So we all know that CMOS inverter output is F is equal to A bar, correct? Now same thing I can write it as A bar into A bar dot 1 plus A into A dot 0. So this 1 and 0 is logic 1 and logic 0. Okay. So this A bar is representing your pull-up network, PMOS pull-up network, and A is representing the NMOS pull-down network. So what does the pull-up network do? So let's say whenever we apply a logic 0, my PMOS transistor is off and my NMOS transistor is on. Okay, I have shown you why the NMOS transistor will be off, because VGS has to be greater than VT, and here we are connecting it to be 0. So NMOS will be off. That means there is no connection with the output to the ground. So your PMOS transistor will pull the output nodes towards VDD. That's why the name pull-up network. Okay. And whenever the input is logic 1, my NMOS transistor will be on and my PMOS will be off. So my VDD is disconnected from the circuit and my output node will be pulled down towards ground. Okay, that's why we call it as a NMOS as a pull down network. Okay, I hope that this is clear. So here the transistor count is 2. To make a simple NOT gate, you require 2 transistors using static CMOS logic. Is this point clear? Just raise your hands if it is clear, or else I'll repeat it. Okay, fine, good. I can see few. So just a note of caution here. There is a difference between analog and digital symbols. So here, for simplicity, from henceforth in the logic design for all the circuits, we are going to drop the 4-terminal symbol. You know, this 4-terminal symbol is normally used in analog domain, where we have this body bias effect and all that. But we are going to use the digital symbol. So we are going to show the NMOS as like this, and PMOS with a bubble at the input, indicating that it only accepts the complementary, matlab, if it accepts the input which is or we can say that. So if you apply 1 over here, it will be 0 over here. Okay. So let me start with the first design. Realize it's 2 input AND gate. Now I'm going to show you a video. Let's 5 minutes more. So I'm just going to take a little bit of 5 minutes, and you do this design in the book, please, all of y'all. So let me open the video. So please try it out using static CMOS logic. Write down the question. Implement 2 input NAND gate. I know that you might have done it in the lab, but still. I have opened the video and now we are going to see that. I've explained that over there.
Okay, so hello everyone. So let us see our first example for a static CMOS logic implementation for a 2-input NAND gate. So what are we going to implement? Let us write it down. We are going to implement F is equal to A dot B the whole bar. Okay, this is basically your NAND gate, or we can call it as a 2-input NAND gate, or we can call it as a NAND 2. Okay, so let us start implementing this using static CMOS. So let us expand this equation slightly. So I'm rewriting it as F is equal to A dot B bar into 1 plus A dot B into 0. Okay, so this is the in the expandable form, and the first term can be rewritten in the form of De Morgan's law. So we can write A bar plus B bar into 1 plus A dot B into 0. Okay, this 1 and 0 is logic 1 and logic 0. Fine. So the first term is representing the pull-up network. So this is the PMOS pull-up network. It is representing. Okay. And how these PMOS will be connected? These PMOS will be connected in parallel. Fine. Now next is A dot B. Now A dot B will be consisting of my NMOS pull-down network. So NMOS, the pull-down network will consist of NMOS, and it is A dot B. So two NMOS transistors will be connected in series. Okay. Now let's start building this. So first of all, let us start with the pull-down network. We know the general structure for a static CMOS logic. So I'm quickly drawing that. So this is my pull-up network. This is my pull-down. Let me write it over here. This is pull-up. This is pull-down. Here we have the output. Okay. Here we have connecting the ground to the pull-down network, and this is the pull-up network. And these are my inputs, right? If there are input is A and B, it will be A and B. Fine. And my output is basically over here. Here it will be a NAND gate. Okay. So whenever my pull-up network, which is consisting of only PMOS transistors, is on. So what will happen? It will pull the output towards the VDD. So let me draw it. It will pull the output towards VDD. Whenever my PMOS transistors pull-up network is on, and whenever my pull-down network is on, it will make the output node go to 0 or logic 0. So this pull-down network consists of only NMOS transistors. Now let us draw the final circuitry for us. So for us, let us start with the pull-down network. Okay. So when we start with the pull-down network, let me take it a little bigger. So we'll start with the NMOS. So we'll have two NMOS in series like this. The two inputs are A and B. Okay. So this represents A dot B. And in the pull-up network, we'll have A bar plus B bar. So that will be represented by PMOS. So let me draw PMOS over here. PMOS has to be drawn like this. Okay. So these are two PMOS transistors connected in parallel. Fine. And now let me connect it to VDD, and let me connect it over here. And this is my output. So my output is F is equal to A dot B bar. Okay. And these are my two inputs, A and B. Okay. So that's what the representation of a NAND 2 or a 2-input NAND gate is, wherein the upper network is your pull-up network consisting of PMOS transistors. So let me mark this thing. So this is my pull-up network, and the below one, which is consisting of NMOS transistors, is my pull-down network. This is pull-down network. Okay, so that's how you construct a static CMOS a 2-input NAND gate using static CMOS logic. Now, one important thing you remember is either if the pull-down network is active, it will pull the output node towards the ground. So you'll have a logic 0. And if the pull-up network is on, it will bring the output node towards VDD. So it is pulling up the output nodes towards VDD. So at any point of time, the output of a static CMOS logic will always be logic 0 or logic 1. Okay, so I think that's it.
I suppose the video was audible, sir.
Yes, bilkul sir.
Okay, so I will follow this technique. Whenever I'll start with a new design, I will build up also a small video doing it. Okay, so I hope that all of y'all have done a very simple. I know that already everyone must be knowing about NAND gate. So we'll be building on this in tomorrow's, I mean, in day after tomorrow's lecture on Thursday. We are going to continue this two input NAND gate in more details, and also we'll see a shortly, very quickly the LT spice simulation for the same, just half a minute, right? So not today, that we will do in next lecture. Okay, so that's all for today. Any questions you all have, you all can ask now.